On your side at 6. Focused on you.
New information right now about a deadly shooting in Lincoln County, as we hear for the first time from the sister of the teenage victim. Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Ann Allred.
And I'm Mike Bush. The shooting happened on New Year's Eve on Dotson Road near Troy. And tonight, family members have identified the victim as 16-year-old Matthew Robinson. 5 on your side's Annie Krall has been covering the story since Sunday. Annie.
Well, on Sunday morning at about 10:30, the Lincoln County Sheriff's Office got a 911 call about domestic disturbance. During the incident, a 16-year-old boy was shot and killed.
On this rural road near Troy, Missouri, a colorful memorial on a signpost in Matthew Robinson's memory, flowers, stuffed animals, and a cross with the name Matthew on it. Jillian Stevens tells us that was her little brother. She posted on Facebook saying, quote, "I love you. I'm so sorry this happened to you." The 16-year-old was killed Sunday morning during a domestic disturbance. The Lincoln County Sheriff's Office says there were 5 people in the residence at the time, though they have still not said what his relationship was to them or where the gun came from. Officers defined a domestic disturbance as
anybody that may be in a relationship, whether it be a family member, whether it be living it within the same household, boyfriend, girlfriend, things of that nature.
Turning Point Advocacy Services in Lincoln County offers support to victims of domestic violence. They say it's especially important when a minor is involved.
I would say within the past 2 years, it used to be that our emergency shelter was mainly adults. Now we're seeing an uptick that 50% of the clients in the shelter are children under the age of 18.
When it comes to counseling in the aftermath of the incident, Turning Point Advocacy Services says they have the largest emergency shelter with 36 beds in the region, emphasizing their support across 7 counties, including Lincoln County, for victims of physical, sexual, mental, and emotional abuse.
They can call our hotline, and that's the starting point to figure out what services they need. Sometimes people call us and they don't actually know what's available or what could help them. They also feel hopeless, like there is no escape from that situation.
The Lincoln County School District says the 16-year-old was a student at the New Horizons School in Troy. They say crisis counselors will be on site at New Horizons High School to work with students and staff. Mike?
Annie, thanks. Right now, Alton police are investigating a shooting that left another teen dead. Officers were called to an apartment on Woodview Court around 8:30 Monday night. There, they found 17-year-old Jaden Dahl with a gunshot wound. Dahl was taken to the hospital where he later died. Police say Dahl and others at the apartment all knew each other.
Tonight, newly obtained video shows a murder suspect wheeling a woman's body out of her St. Louis apartment. As the accused killer prepares for his criminal trial, the woman's family is filing a civil lawsuit. Our Justina Cornell joins us in studio to explain why they think more people need to be held responsible. Justina.
63-year-old Caroline Jenkins used to live at the Metropolitan Village Apartments, and in 2022, her body was found just yards away from the apartment complex. Besides an ongoing criminal case, the family tells me they want more to be done.
She was a beautiful spirit. My mother was the life of the party, always laughing, always dancing. You know, we're just so broken without her.
Broken to pieces, but coming together to get justice for 63-year-old Caroline Jenkins.
My mother was murdered inside of her apartment complex. She had gone down to get her mail. The murderer, followed her back up to her apartment and killed her there. She was taken out of her apartment on a dolly, taken right past security cameras, picking this up. Everything is on video.
Prosecutors showed the family this newly obtained footage, which shows Jenkins' body being wheeled into an elevator.
Our private autopsy revealed that she was stabbed 7 times.
Her neighbor and ex-boyfriend David Leonard Harvey is charged with her murder.
She's been complaining, about him stalking and harassing her. He harassed her several days on video prior to this happening. He's called the police, has complained to management. Nothing was done to safeguard my mother and prevent this from happening.
That's why her 2 children filed this lawsuit against Metropolitan Village Apartments in St. Louis, the managing company Sansone Group, and the security team Anthony's Empire Security.
Everyone needs to be held accountable for the negligence.
Not only do they blame the security team for not doing more, they also point fingers at the apartment complex. Since it receives federal funding under Housing and Urban Development, they're authorized to screen applicants and prohibit admission if illegal drug use or violent crimes are happening. The lawsuit points to a list of Harvey's criminal activity, including a 2015 acquittal for killing a pregnant woman. Harvey lived at the apartment complex at the same time. Now Jenkins' children are motivated to make moves for their mom.
We want to make sure that he does not get the opportunity to see freedom again in this lifetime.
I reached out to all the parties involved in this lawsuit, and I have not heard back from them yet. As far as the criminal case, Harvey goes to trial in March.
A person is dead after crashing their car into a garbage truck in Baldwin this morning. It happened just before 3:30 near Clayton Road and Claire Terry Drive. The Missouri State Highway Patrol is handling this investigation. Right now, we don't know the victim's name or how the crash happened. We'll keep you updated as new information comes into the newsroom.
Tonight, 3 people in Jefferson County are without their homes after overnight fires destroyed 2 houses in Festus. 5 on your side's Mercedes McKay spoke with fire officials and family members about the devastating losses.
The beginning of 2024 didn't start the way the Festus Fire Department hoped.
It's been a very busy night. I guess we're starting the year off wrong.
Just before 11 p.m. Monday, crews were called to this 2-story home on Tanglewood Acres. The broken windows and soot-covered exterior revealing the total loss.
2 male adults did escape that one unharmed. One was treated on the scene for smoke inhalation.
One of those men who escaped was Pat Jones's brother. Hearing about the fire on Today in St. Louis, Jones ran to the house, not knowing if her brother made it out alive.
I was afraid he died because he's got asthma real bad and he's crippled up, can't walk real good.
Jones says both men that lived in this home are in their 60s and 70s, which is why she immediately thought the worst when she saw the damage.
First thing I thought of was that they probably both perished.
Due to the severity of the flames, we can now see directly into this home on Tanglewood Acres. As you can see, the homeowner's belongings are now scattered across the yard. Fire officials tell us the damage started on the first floor and went all the way up to the roof.
We were finishing up on a residential fire on the other side, on the west side of our town, when we received a call.
Hours later Tuesday morning, and less than 5 minutes down the road, Festus firefighters were called to another home that went up in flames on South Adams.
At this time, it's under investigation, but I know they were using space heaters in the home.
Thankfully, the owner of that home made it out okay. And while the loss is great for both, the families are counting their blessings.
I just thank God that they didn't perish. Very thankful for that.
In Festus, Mercedes McKay, 5 on your side.
And fire officials say these fires are a good reminder for everyone as we get into the colder months. If you absolutely have to use a space heater, make sure anything around it is at least 3 feet away.
He's accused of firing a gun at a middle school trunk or treat event. Today, he asked for a bond reduction. What the judge said.
Protecting Missouri's farmland, the move Governor Mike Parson made today to send a message to China.
Temperatures, they're on the cool side, but not really cold. That's a big factor as we head towards the weekend with our first weather system that could give us some rain or snow, and an even bigger factor next week.